Welcome to the Level Up Artist Podcast. We're your hosts, Adriana Amay and
Jackie Sanders. We're two art professionals sharing for the advice and business lessons we have learned along our creative journeys.
we talk to artists, leaders, and art professionals to demystify the creative process and discover new ways to succeed as a career-minded artist.
If you find value in these conversations, please go ahead and subscribe. This will help other creatives like you find our podcast, and you'll be notified when we drop a new episode every Tuesday. Now, today's episode is a bit different than our other episodes because we have some very exciting news to share with you. As you all know, we love talking to artists and our public art studios, chatting with you, our listeners on Instagram. And based off of those conversations, we have been talking a lot about how we, as fellow career-minded artists, can better share forward the advice and business lessons we have learned with artists like you in addition to our podcast.
Yes, and also add to that the bumps in the road we face during our own career trajectories and how we've overcome them. And, we're always evaluating how can we best share the information with you. So one of the things that Jack and I have been talking about is transitioning to evergreen course modules. So what this means is we're evolving our Level Up Artist Business membership into evergreen courses, which means you'll have access to a wealth of knowledge and resources whenever you need them. You don't need to wait for a specific enrollment period to join us. The learning's right there at your fingertips 24/7. And on the community component side of things, we're moving away from a dedicated community space within the courses, kind of like a Facebook group. We're moving away from that. But instead, that spirit of community will still be alive and well. It'll just work a little bit differently. So the way that this works is we're moving from the platform. We've been using Mighty Networks into Squarespace, which most of you have heard of. And it's going to be through levelupartist.com. But we will still maintain, which is one of our favorite parts, the weekly live Zoom calls. So we're still going to be doing that. That's probably like the best bit of it anyways. So what's going to happen is when you purchase a course module, you'll still have immediate access to the video content, the PDF resources, ready to use templates, but also you'll have access to weekly calls in case you have questions or there's specific topics that we want to cover.
Yeah, and I think the biggest change to the content is really how things are packaged together, right? We really have listening to you guys heard about, oh, well, this is the phase of my career that I'm in. This is what I really need right now. And everyone's needs are different, right? Depending on where you are in your career, different facets of it. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to give you guys what you need at those phases of your career rather than kind of water hose with everything all at once. So we broke it down into 4 different courses as of now. So we have our planning and goal setting course, which you really take a good look at where you are, where you want to go, and then how to reverse engineer that. The second course is about your story and your marketing strategy because marketing yourself, your business, your art, it's all about storytelling and presenting yourself online and through your marketing in a way that feels right to you. It's not a one size fits all approach, and we really dive into that in the course module. So you show up in a way that feels right to you. The third one is all about selling more art, money, 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 from pricing artwork to figuring out profit margins, where to sell online, the pros and cons of different platforms, the whole strategy as your guide for selling. And then the fourth one is art business systems. So this is really great in terms of how to stay organized, how to keep track of your images, creative organization systems, time management, art inventory, all of those more like admin systems and processes that we have used over the years as a sustainable way to grow our businesses. That's all in course 4 with your business systems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way that we're splitting it into focused modules. Because I mean, some of the things that comes with it, like you said, sometimes you join a course or you purchase a educational module and it's everything is there at the same time. You didn't even know, do I start in this section, this section? So by doing it this way, if you're a little more advanced, you can literally specifically pick what you want if you're just starting out. You can start with the planning and goal setting, and some of you will be somewhere in the middle. So it just makes it a lot easier this way. Um, that way you finish it, move on to the next, essentially. But some of the other positive, shifts that are coming with these changes are there's more flexibility. You get to learn at your own pace on your own schedule. So it's 24/7 lifetime access. There's deeper focus, so you can dive into course content without distractions. So if you want to do all about selling and you're kind of putting self-discipline that this quarter, at the beginning of this year, this is what I'm going to focus on. That's it. That's all that module is about. And you can just knock it out. And then, you can access the course materials at levelupartist.com, and you can go and revisit them to help you grow over the long term.
Exactly. And we really started this change because, again, we've listened to you guys, heard feedback on our courses, and really having your success in mind. And by having this evergreen content, that way you can really revisit those key lessons whenever you need a refresher on the content. It also allows us to focus on adding new course content as it's needed, because, of course, we're in an ever-evolving industry. In addition to the podcast topics where we touch on a few things, of course, provide as many resources and advice as we can through these podcast episodes. The modules are really where we're able to break it down, show you the spreadsheet, screen share with systems that work for us, which is really a game changer as you're a career-minded artist looking to grow. Because your growth in your art career and hitting those milestones of your goals is really at the heart of everything we do. It's a constant conversation for us of, okay, I hit this milestone in my career. How can I share this with other artists in our area and beyond? That's always the immediate follow-up of how can I help other artists do this too? Because we find so much joy and fulfillment from it. Plus, being able to celebrate the progress that our listeners of the podcast and in our course modules, the artists that get to make that progress, we celebrate with you guys. That's like the most fun part about it. And by having that newfound flexibility in your art business, it's a total game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, long story short, to kind of bring it home, this offers on-demand learning. You can access the modules whenever it suits your schedule. It's a tailored experience. You can focus on the content that aligns with your current artistic goals. Efficient because you can streamline it, based on what your needs are and where you are in your creative journey. And then again, one of my favorites, I'm a little biased, but this is one of my favorite parts, is the weekly live calls where you get to meet fellow career-minded artists, ask questions, exchange ideas, and business strategies, which not everybody does. So we're not just like, this is how to do it and that's the end of it. No, it's a two-way street. It's a conversation, always exchanging ideas and helping everybody grow together.
Right, because ultimately we all are career-minded artists, and being able to grow and work alongside each other is really what community competition is all about. And we are so incredibly grateful for the community that has flourished with the Level Up Artist courses, as well as the weekly live calls, and just the DMs and the messages that we get from artists who have invested in their course and then hit milestones that they've been trying to hit for months and they hit them within weeks after buying the courses. It's so fulfilling. And so having this shift is really that positive evolution, allowing us to better serve your guys' needs and foster that environment where your creative practice can thrive through these evergreen course modules broken down based on where you are. So if this sounds interesting to you, head on over to levelupartist.com and it has all the information right there. You can get immediate access and level up your creative career today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this incredible journey. Your success fuels our passion. We can't wait to see the amazing heights your artistic ventures will reach. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, keep creating. And if you want to stay connected with us between episodes, share your feedback, or have a question you would like for us to answer on the podcast, you can reach us through social media. I'm at Amay Art across all platforms.
And I'm at J Sanders Studio on all platforms. And if you want to follow the podcast, we are at Level Up Artists on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.